right, this is going to be good.
What's
Stand
up, Dio?
What's
up, Dio? What's up, Christine? What's up,
Hi,
Joe?
good to see you.
Just going to talk some hoops. Just going to talk some hoops. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to right now. And we're going to start with you, Dan. Okay. Where does Curry's dagger shot rank among sports moments overall?
I think it's right up there with some of the greatest sports moments of the last couple generations. I think these sports moments have to be defined as you remember exactly where you were and exactly who you're with when they happened. And I will forever when that shot goes down, and I remember watching my son Hunter jump up and go, "Oh my gosh," and my son Noah fall to the ground and my daughter scream and yell. And I think it's like I remember exactly where I was when Tiger made that chip in on 16 at Augusta years ago. Exactly what happened, who I was with. I remember the Malcolm Butler interception for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And these moments, they almost make us go like, there's no way that happened. You know, like that shot, I remember the LeBron block, obviously, Big Perk, you do as well. That moment when it's jaw-dropping and moment-defining. I remember the Patrick Mahomes 3rd and long in the Super Bowl when he launches the ball down to Tyreek Hill. Steph Curry's, I remember Joe Carter's home run with the Blue Jays years ago. So I just think it's one of those moments that we could put up there at the very top with some of those iconic over the past couple of generations.
Classic Curry heat check, right? Degree of difficulty was there, check. Stakes were at an all-time high. Anyone who's been following him through his career at Golden State, you've seen this time and time again on the biggest stage. He starts to get hot. They keep feeding him. I mean, with everyone on that court, Durant, LeBron, everyone capable of taking a shot, Booker, they kept looking for him despite the double teams. They encouraged the shot, and he kept drilling them. When you parse, however, through the all-time shots, as we always get into the nitty-gritty of this and we start to rank these things, you got to ask yourself, without this moment, how does it affect the outcome? U.S. was up 6 with 35 seconds to go. So when we start talking about ranking all-time moments, this shot, iconic. The U.S. still probably wins this game without this shot. You go back through, like Dan mentioned, the Malcolm Butler interception. Without that interception, Seattle's likely going in. They're winning the Super Bowl. If you talk about an iconic Olympics moment, go back to 2008 in Beijing. The men's 4x100 freestyle. Jason Lezak, the final leg that he swam in that event, won that gold medal. They were underdogs against the French. They were trailing big. He swam the leg of his life to win that, and that helped Phelps get his 8 gold medals. Without that, he's not setting the record. So Curry's shot, all-time heat check, all-time moment. It goes down in history. But as you rank it situationally based, they're still winning without that make.
Well, they're not winning without the other shots from Steph Curry. And I think that needs to be in plural, right? That was the Steph Curry moment, like throughout the entire end of that fourth quarter for the Olympics. And the game before that, when they had to beat Serbia, it was because of Steph Curry, that 36-piece wing dinner, all flats he put on them. And then the way he performed to secure the win, to get the gold medal. Look, that's top 5 moments of all time in my eyes. Not just that shot, it was the shot making. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And you think about what was at stake. You just mentioned that, right, Joe? What was at stake was that it's a reason why Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant committed and went full throttle for playing in the Olympics. It's because the other countries are catching up to us in basketball, right? When you look at players who have been dominating the NBA, it's been Jokic, it's been Giannis, it's been Rudy winning so many Defensive Player of the Years. It's, all of these guys, Luka Doncic. And so they wanted to make a statement. Too much was on the line. Steph Curry showed up and showed out in great fashion when it mattered the most. By far, top 5 greatest moments in sports history.
Yeah, Joe, my pushback to you is just conceding that they would have won. Obviously, it's an unknown, but I think that being the dagger is in the degree of difficulty. Like when that ball left his hands, I would imagine most of us were like, oh, that's just he's throwing it up because the shot clock's low. You know, did anyone really expect it? Again, you get caught in it's Steph, so maybe you did. But I think most reasonable people are expecting that ball to not go in because of the degree of difficulty, because of that moment. We will forever remember that shot and some of the still frames and how high that shot actually went. That's why I go back to the Tiger chip-in at Augusta and the difficulty. I don't know whether Tiger would have won or not won that tournament, but it certainly solidifies the win. The Malcolm Butler, Big Perk, we don't know what would have happened the next 2 or 3 plays in that football game, but I know that solidified it. You know, and I think, Joe, like, we're minimizing the impact of that shot because they were up 6. France was right in that game. If not for Steph, America loses. If not for that shot, we have no idea. I just think it's one of those iconic things that we are going to sit there and go, I remember when Steph shot that ball over those 3 dudes from France to basically seal the game.
You want to talk Steph's performance, and you put that game up against what he did Thursday against Serbia. The performance against Serbia was far more important, far more valuable, far more impactful. They were trailing big in that game, and he bailed them out of the fire after 4 games prior to that where he was only averaging 7 points per game. That was Steph Curry at his absolute best, but it was a Thursday afternoon when people were at work and they weren't necessarily paying attention. Sunday, we have the opportunity to watch this, and Dan, to your original point, you're watching with your family. You will always remember that moment, and historically, it will rank up there. But as far as Steph Curry performances go, it wasn't even his best in a 4-day stretch. That was the performance against Serbia.
I mean, it was the championship game, Joe. It was for all the marbles. You're going against France, who had home court advantage. Right, the crowd was behind them. You're going against a guy who could possibly be the best player in the league in the next 3 years of Victor Wembanyama. And Steph Curry's shot making in that 4th quarter is the reason why we're able to celebrate Team USA men's basketball for winning the gold medal. Look, when it comes down to Steph, people could go and argue about, you know, what position he would go down as, like what position, far as his position played, whether it's a shooting guard. In my eyes, he's a point guard. He changed the game of basketball forever. He's the greatest point guard to ever touch the damn basketball. Magic Johnson is number 2 on my list. But when it comes down to Steph, that shot, the way that he had to create for himself over a double team, over Nicholas Batum and Evan Fournier. Nicholas Batum is 6'7", 6'8", by the way. And to have LeBron James and Kevin Durant on the opposite wing, wide open, and they trusted him, and he took that shot anyway to secure the win. I mean, it's one of my top 5 moments.
You know, I just got here. Does it have to be Dan and Perk against me right away? Perk, you can't throw me a courtesy agreement for 2 seconds? Come on, man.
Well, with that mustache.
I mean,
here it comes. And here comes.
With that mustache, what do you want us to do?
I love it.
There's a lot of comments we have to keep to ourselves with it, too.
Fair.
All right, we'll leave that comment there, but I do want to say, Joe, to your point, looking at what Steph did at the beginning of the Olympics and how he struggled so much in those early games, being able to show up in that championship game was huge for Team USA. That's 5 straight for them.